Today I thought we'd talk about something you probably already know about, and that's dodge and burn. So dodge and burning was something that they used to do back in the film days, basically to dodge is to lighten and to burn is to darken certain areas. And the reason why we dodge and burn is because paper or what you're printing on is flat. So there's nothing really there. So how do you bring out not certain details, but how do you make it look more like a 2D image? And how do you create contrast within that image is basically by dodging and burning. But it took me several years to learn to dodge and burn properly. So anybody can dodge and burn. You just kind of take the tool and you burn out what you don't want, and dodge what you kind of want, and try to make some different contrast. But there's a few tricks to doing it that I learned over the few years. So come along and we'll show you these few tricks. Okay, so here we are in Photoshop, and the way I like to do it is the first thing I'll do is I will create a new layer. And I will fill it with 50% gray. Then change the layer to overlay. So basically it's 50% gray, it's not really doing anything. Then I will select the dodge tool. And with the dodge tool, I've got midtone selected, and I kind of prefer about 15%. Now I change this depending on what I'm doing. So hopefully you can see this. And if I hold my Alt key down, it changes from burn and dodge back and forth. Let's see. If I hold my Alt key down, it should go to burn. So you can see how that's making that area a little bit darker. I'm going to undo that for a second. You can see from this area here, the contrast is pretty well all equal. There's really nothing that's bringing things forward or back or highlighting anything. So what I want to do is I want to dodge and burn this area to give it that contrast and try to bring things forward and get your eyes to view things a little differently. If I just hold up, say, a blank piece of paper, everything's white. So how do we bring that contrast out? And I do it by dodging and burning. I just find it's the easiest way. So if I just add a little bit there, and you can see these trees here. So I just want to add a little bit in that area, and I'll show you what I've done so far. So you should be able to see that, and that's making a little bit of difference. Now in this area here, I want to make it lighter, add some light in that area. So if we just kind of do some dodging in here. Now here's where the trick is. That really didn't make much of a difference. If I change the side of my brush here, hold the Alt key down, and then I burn along that ledge where I just did some dodging, it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. So we'll show you. That's what it was before. And this is what it looks like after I've dodged and burned in that area. Now I can do the same thing in this area. So I'm going to bring my brush up, hold the Alt button down, make just this area a little bit darker, and then if I just take this area, now you should have seen that because that did a huge bit of change on there. So let's zoom in a bit, kind of straighten this out. Now I want you to really watch right in this area when I do a little bit of dodging and burning. See how that's changing that? So that's one of the ways, and that's basically the way that I like to use dodging and burning. Let's go to another photo. So here's, again, we did this one just a little while ago. Now, I think it's too bright. I'm going to bring the exposure down. So I like that exposure better. Again, I'll add a layer. I'll change it to 50% gray. Change it to overlay. Then select my burn and dodge tool. Again, I'm doing midtones. I'm at 14%. So in this area here, I think we can make quite a substantial adjustments and really make this area stand out. And you can see the difference right in that corner right away. So there's the original, there's the original, there's a dodge and burn. One of the things that I really like to do to cause the viewer's eye to go somewhere, I'm gonna shrink my brush down here. So we've got some beautiful colors in here. So I want to highlight this just a little bit more. Now, as I said last time, you want to add that contrast. So, just going to burn all along this edge. And that's going to draw the viewer's eyes into the brightest part of that area. So if we go back out, I want you to watch right in this area here. So you can see how I've changed the dynamics of the photo. By dodging and burning it. And I might bring this up just a little bit more. And I'll see how I burnt or dodged that area right in there, but there's some dark areas in here. If I just kind of make them a little bit darker, and I'm staying fairly close to the areas of where I just dodged. So you can see how that's changing the photo, because there's the original. Now there's how we've changed that photo just to give it that much more of a punch in those areas. So I also use dodging and burning in my waterfall photography, as you can see here. And I just want to make the brush a little smaller. I just want to add a little bit in this area just to kind of capture your eye. I'll lighten some stuff up. And then what I think I'd like to do is darken some of these trees down. Just darken these trees down. Just area the trees. Now, if you haven't noticed, I've changed programs. I'm no longer in Photoshop. I'm in Luminar. And the reason I switched programs is because I wanted to show you that a lot of programs, not just Photoshop, have ways of dodging and burning. So I've selected the dodge and burn in this program. I've moved it down to about 83%. And then I've knocked the strength down because it's set at a default that I'm not really jumping up and down over. So I can do certain things on it. And remember where I said trying to add some contrast in certain areas? The water's all white. So I can actually add a little bit more contrast just by going around it. And you'll notice up here, I darkened in this area around here, just above the ridge line here, just to add some more contrast and give the white a little bit more punch to make it stand out a little bit more. And then I did these trees just to bring it out just a little bit more, to give the trees a little bit more contrast, a little bit more definition sort of idea. So I kind of liked that one. So I thought that was pretty cool. And like I said before, just because you don't have Photoshop doesn't mean the program you're using doesn't have dodge and burn. A lot of programs have dodge and burn in them, and we use it the same way. We use it the exact same way. We try to grab certain areas that we want people to kind of see and try to break up the mundane portion of it. Okay, so there you have it. That's how I use dodging and burning and dodging, whichever you want to call it. Again, I didn't teach you what the tool is going to do, but I did teach you how I use it. So the tool, like I said, is easy to just click on it, dodge, burn, away you go sort of idea. But those are the few little tricks that I've learned on how to use dodging and burning and what works well for me and in my workflow. So hopefully that helps you out, gives you some ideas of how to post-process using dodging and burning. I do a lot of it. It's kind of a fun thing to do. I think it helps my photography. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and if you have any tips the way you dodge and burn, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your tips, because I'm always willing to learn, and I think it's a great thing about photography is you're always learning no matter what you do. So keep clicking, and we'll see you next time.